Welcome to the Land of Work and Joy podcast. My name is Mr. K, your host, and my co-hosts, Saint J and Blessed Zedem. How are you, gents?
Good.
Fine.
How was the weekend?
The week has been okay. Can't complain.
Okay.
Pushing.
What did you get up to?
Right now I'm back on my feet. Like I remember, I think it was Monday.
Yeah.
I visited the studio. I'm just trying to put one or two things together.
So you're back in the studio recording.
I'm back in the
So
studio.
we're expecting a new project soon.
Soon. I'm just putting everything in order. So I went to talk to the producer and got to hear one of a few demos that I've recorded already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick one that would maybe
That will set the waves on fire.
Sure.
Do you have a feature on this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Your maps?
No, bro.
No, I'm just asking.
We're planning to put on something now, but we'll look at our finances at the end of the day. If our finances allow, then we're going to put on someone. If they don't allow, then I'm going to do it alone.
Okay. No, that's all right, man. That's all right. Yeah. Saint?
So nainapatire pepeka kwa hii area sham studio.
Yeah, we're waiting for you to drop, man.
So naina we obviously they drop hapa pene nombari ni hapa.
Nobody in it start.
Nombari ne month iresera bwangu.
Like yeah.
The month yasera bwangu sana bati.
Okay.
Obviously first week of July.
Okay. All right. So you heard these gents are working on new music, you know. They'll be putting out some fire for us soon.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully we can get that and listen to that, you know, because they did another song earlier.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Saint and Blessed are actually music artists. So they are men of many talents.
International.
Aside from being here on the podcast with me, you know, chopping it down, they also do some very good music. You know, we'll share the links in the description so that you can go and check out some of the work they've done. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's it. So you guys are not asking me about my weekend? What's that about?
And like all the time.
Is it
man,
because
like
I don't drink?
No.
Because that issue, you know, there's hate with people who don't drink. We get sidelines. Yeah, but no more like we don't want you near us. No.
Like
you don't be drinking, you don't be buying beer, so
Yeah.
we ain't really trying to chill with you.
So we're not anywhere. We're going to ask, how's been your weekend?
Yeah, man, get out of here. Man. No, my weekend was okay. It was chilled as usual.
Okay.
At home most of the times, but I did go through to go and see my mother.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't find my mom home.
Okay.
I don't know, she was up and about doing her own thing, but I found my niece home. A very small girl, should be about 5 or something. Yeah, so it was an interesting interaction. So she was watching some program like, was it Bible stories or something like that? Yeah. So I sat with her because she's like, yo, let's watch this thing. And we were watching this thing and the episode on there was about Moses and the pharaohs.
Oh, yeah.
So she hears the name Moses and she's like, oh, Uncle Moses. Because she's got an uncle, Moses.
Oh, yeah?
It's like, yeah, that's where Uncle Moses gets his name from. He gets it from the Bible. Like, do you know what the Bible is? She's like, no. Like, you don't know what the Bible is. No one has ever taught you what the Bible is. She's like, no, I know, I'm just joking. Like, oh, okay, cool. So we sit down for a bit and we're watching that. And she kind of, what does she say next? Like, yeah, I was watching, in this thingy, they showed God, he's a white man, you know?
Oh.
She was able to understand that.
Well, that's what she told me. So I was like, no. God is not a white man.
Yeah. It's already
She's like, no, but they showed him in there. I'm like, yeah, that's not correct. God is not a white man. You can't see God. Now, when I told her you can't see God, you could see the confusion on her face. Like, what are you talking about?
We can't see
like, yeah, you people always talk or refer to God as a physical entity. So for her to kind of like negotiate that or understand that in her mind to say that I can't see this entity. Yeah, it was a bit difficult for her, but it was an interesting exchange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was the highlight of my weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than that, Father's Day. This Father's Day was on Sunday actually.
Bali's Day. Yeah, it was on Sunday.
Yes, it was on Sunday. Father's Day, man. Did you enjoy Father's Day? Did you celebrate Father's Day?
Like, how am I going to celebrate Father's Day when I'm not yet a father?
Anyway,
It's for fathers, of course. Like,
hey, of course, but hey, I'm just saying.
yeah.
We're not
So
gonna
on my
speak
part,
much.
that's what I'm going to say. But I don't know about
No,
saying.
we'll take your word. We'll take your word for it.
How
that
am I
you're not
going
yet
to
a
celebrate Father's Day? Like, hey.
We'll take your word for it that you're not yet a father,
Yeah,
but
I'm not yet a father.
yeah, because
I'm only a father to my music. And
be out there hiding to my secret family. Yeah, this chap has a whole family or a string of children all over the place.
No.
Saint, how was Father's Day for you, man?
I know, like the same thing, man. I'm not yet the father.
Oh, come on, guys.
But we celebrate the day either way.
But what are you guys waiting for? Aren't you guys like, get in the game, man. Make a few peoples,
Oh no, I haven't yet married, so I'm not
Okay.
yet a father. So I want to marry first, then I'll be a father.
Okay.
As in for me, like, I think for one to be a father, you have to be ready mentally, spiritually, physically, financially.
Why didn't you put that first?
Bro, like, that's when I'll be ready to be a father. If I'm not ready spiritually, physically, financially, and ABCD, I'm not ready to be a father.
Somebody was actually telling me, like, nah, bro, like, you can never be ready for this stuff. You just have to jump in.
Hey, that's some waters that are so
You can sing.
we cannot pass through different things, man.
Guys, don't be scared, man. You just jump in.
These days, talk about
But now, when you look at like the way Father's Day is celebrated, like what you think about that?
Like
when you compare it to
with our
Mother's
fellow
Day, yes. Do you think it gets the attention it needs?
No,
because I was even surprised that there's Father's Day. To be honest, I was surprised. Like, okay, what a Father's Day. I think the only thing that I'm aware of it's Mother's Day and of course Women's Day.
Also, like you never knew like all along that there was Father's Day.
Oh my goodness. Me, I was like, all right.
And I think
Father's Day. This is new to me. It was new to me. It was new to me. True.
Okay.
That's
but the actual date. Me and Andrew is the same. I know it's Father's Day, but I don't know the actual date. So I was also a bit surprised, like, oh, today is Father's Day. Like, but don't you think it says something about how we think about our fathers? Like, they just kind of like exist in our lives. Like, he's just there. Maybe he doesn't need the love. Like,
because a lot of times, like, sorry to cut you off. Like, because a lot of times, like, men have so appreciations are with the mother that's always there with this child.
Okay.
Until a certain but there are men out there who are 100.
Yeah.
The father and the mother. Maybe the mother had died and then the father took up that role and he's been the best. I've heard people. Maybe my father is the best. Like, he's been there for me. So we should appreciate fathers,
Okay.
But actually, I think fathers, they're not really celebrated that much compared to mothers. All right. I think the reason why is that most of the times kids at home are found with the mothers.
Yes.
All right. When the father is out there looking for money and looking for what to put on the table, of course, he's the backbone, but kids won't see it in that way. So they'll get to celebrate the mother who is always with them at home, especially. But
okay, sorry. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
We don't have housewives. We have wives that are now. We have those that are career wives, job, chanchani. So you find that at home there's a nanny who is remaining with the kids, but back in the days, you'd find that we had a lot of women that were housewives. So they would spend most of the time with the kids. I think kids actually would be like, okay, I think our mother is spends more time with us compared to dad when dad is out there looking for the money. I think that's the reason why women get to be celebrated more compared to fathers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the point also on its own. So.
But like you mentioned, say like these days, women are also working. So in reality, like women are also not at home that much with their kids.
Yeah.
But they still do get that love though.
Yeah.
You know? Why do you think that is?
Like why they get that love?
Yeah, despite them still going for work, you know? Or is it that the men don't have a connection with their children?
Usually, like women, like for a woman also, like us men, obviously, you go to work. In that time, obviously, it's Sunday. If you think like a man, like work is Monday to Friday, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Saturday, sometimes maybe half day or something. But then after that, you're going to watch soccer with your homies and stuff like that. Yeah. With your friends. Sunday night, obviously, kukabola somewhere.
Yeah.
There's an activity happening somewhere. So you're 17 kuyoko.
But then, what time then do you have for your family? Because also, like, you know, if you have a family, you must be engaged with that.
True.
Yeah.
You know, when do you prioritize your family if you're always working and the free time you have, you go play football?
Yeah.
Or you go watch soccer?
So, but what I think is, in as much as this time around we have mothers that are working, ladies that are working.
Yes.
They're not like us men. Where as in Kwaliwa, like I'll tell you this. Kwaliwama guys or their fathers, Monday they're in the office, alright?
Yeah.
No, I'll start from Sunday. Sunday he was drinking. He went back home late. Monday is in the office.
Yeah.
Then he knocks off around 18. Let me just maybe do 2 or 1. He passes by a joint. 2 or 1, 23.
Yeah.
You find kids are sleeping. All right. While a mother, batch komboka kuma 17, they knock off around 17 at home. All right. They'll spend at least that time before going to bed with the kids, you know, checking out like how was school. She'll also make sure like, okay, have you done your homework? ABCD. When the father is not around, he's out there. But now komboka.
Okay.
And again, like with women, a woman, she has to go back home. Like she has to prepare a lot of things.
Yes.
There's also like meals. The father is not going to come back and start.
But there are women again, like you know, they have maids. The maid has already done that.
But she still has a responsibility.
Yeah.
The other things that a woman is just supposed to do for her husband, naturally. So she'll be there with the kids, and then definitely also her love for the kids is different. Also, like it's about
But I think the other thing is that the society itself, you know, like from the time we were born, we found that people celebrate more of women. I think we've kind of taken it that way. Yeah. The society itself, it displays that they celebrate women compared to
but it's for a reason why they do that. I think men, because we get so wrapped up in working and trying to provide for our families, that we forget that we are fathers still. So a father's job is not just financial or provisional, like it's not just financial or material provision. You know, in my opinion, I think it caters to a lot of things. You should be able to provide, of course, financially and materially, but you must also provide as a father now your wisdom, you know, a relationship for your children, because your relationship with your children is going to affect them, especially if you have like daughters or girls. If you are not very close with your daughters or you don't make that effort to build that relationship, you know, that messes them up. They now go out there with all these daddy issues now, which they now start projecting onto the guy they go and marry and what's this. So I think like a lot of us guys need to work harder on our families as well. Yes, it's one thing to provide materially, but you must also be there as a father. Create that connection with your children. Talk to them, you know. Hey, you find even your kids, you don't know who they are for real. You know, you just see them like that, or the only conversation you have is, wachaku school. You know, did you go to school? Did you pass? Like, you know, very base level type of, very base level type of conversation. But when you sit down now and you really look at that child, you don't know them. You don't know who their friends are. You don't know how they're thinking because you never talk to them. You know, their mother, I think women, because of the motherly instinct they have, and I think women are just generally more social. You know, I saw something on the internet. Don't quote me on this, you know. It says something like, women live longer than men.
Yeah, true.
You know, reason being, women have more meaningful connections. They've got more friends. They've got more relationships with their friends and what's this. Men were very isolated, you know, and we hold in a lot of stuff to ourselves. Like, like, you know, what that day when if things go wrong. So I think there's that divide with the kids. We become alienated from our kids, and like they don't know you. You know, you really can't blame them. Yeah, but maybe also to a certain extent, the mothers can also play a part to kind of like, you know, wish this man
Happy Father's Day. But what I think again is that right now, I'll give, for example, me myself.
Yeah.
Let's say if, of course, I was to become a father. Right now, I don't even have the knowledge. I think I don't have the knowledge of how to be a father. Like, whatever, for much Jesus, especially right now, youths, you know, they're out there making babies, you know, when they don't know anything about fathership.
Yes.
I think what is needed to be done is that we need to be taught.
Yeah.
We need that knowledge. Oh, here's ABCD. If you want to be a good father, ABCD. I think we don't have people that that are there to lecture us how to be a good father at the end of it. We don't have. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but that's what I think. We have to be taught.
Yeah. Saint, what do you think about that, man?
So, but anyway, there's some people who do have those that guidance. There are some people who have that kind of guidance. It's a privilege. If you don't have it, maybe you look like, that's why some people have mentors. They go to such people. You find someone like that who you think, I can be in line. I would want to be a friend to that person. Or I'd love to be under their leader or their mentorship or whatever it is. You go to such a person. You ask for such information. Because tuingira mufutaka wa manyu book. Kwa so you were married, what like you start living just like that. They'll be teaching it's a progress thing. They'll be teaching also as in that same process.
Okay. I get it. Like I think he's right. A lot of us don't get taught these things. I think you can't teach someone everything, but there's the basics you can provide. And just generally across the board, like we don't have that. Like, you know, and I think that's something that we lost. It's something that we had from our traditions, like back in the day, like in the old times, because tradition was still strong and everything. You had all these initiation ceremonies and what's this. That's what their function was. It was kind of to teach you how to be a person in that particular society. Oh, this is what a man does, this is what a woman does. This is how you relate to your wife. This is how you do this, and that. They give you that base instruction and guidance. So that even as you are going into it, you are not going in there blindly. You have some knowledge. So when situations happen, you can respond to them because you were guided, say, when this happens, this is what it means. Then, of course, there are certain things that come up as time goes. Then they still continue guiding you through that. But just generally, like, we don't have that knowledge that we have. So as a result, it has a very devastating effect. Because we go out there and we start these families and we don't attend to them adequately in the way that we're supposed to. You know, you have all these psychological, chaotic environments we create because we lack certain guidance on a lot of things. And for me, I would have thought, like, you know, or rather I would really think or really urge, like, the church to kind of really do that. I know they do that, but you just kind of make it more, provide it even for people maybe you just in the society who are not necessarily coming to your church. Because church is the easiest point you can teach people things.
Yeah.
Not everyone can afford to go to school, but everyone can go to church. Yeah. So, I think that's that with that, And there's also like away from that, but still on Father's Day. There's like this whole thing of like single ladies who kind of raise their children on their own, and when it comes to Father's Day, they'll be there like, how come people aren't wishing me a happy Father's Day? Because I was both the mother and the father to this child. What do you think about that? Like,
and like what? There's a song. Yeah, Mark II has got a song with Jessica Lynx. Yeah. So even in there, even Mark II there, he was there saying that, okay, that's just a song. Yeah. But he was also on that point saying, you were both like
my mom and
the mom and the both parents, in one person. Yeah, but I think like some people who can feel, that's just about how you feel to say it. I don't think it's very,
You think it's valid? Do you think they should be told happy
like
Father's
those
Day?
Like in a moment party like no, this woman was there for me when this father was not. The hardships in there. So when someone is saying those things, like it's about them and how they felt that was, because they didn't have the other side. So.
But does it still make it valid to say happy Father's Day?
As in for me,
because we still have Mother's Day.
Yeah.
In the point fair. Yeah, I don't think it should be number like Shan. It's just something that someone can just say.
Okay.
Without there's nothing attached to.
Bless it.
I don't know what you think.
As in for me, I think no. We all have our days. There's Father's Day. There's Mother's Day. Why are you going to post a mother on Father's Day? No.
Yeah.
Again, people are kind of emotional and ABCD when it comes to such issues.
Yes.
But tell us, why are you posting your mother on Father's Day? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Is it that quite a lot of my issues are about you don't know? Maybe your father just passed on. It was just an unfortunate thing. He died. All right, when you were a baby. Then you want to put it in such a way like as if the ran away. No.
And that's very unfair. And then on that part, no, that's a very unfair thing. Like just because that happened, then you should discard him from your life. How?
No.
Was it his fault or what happened? Unless if someone was reckless, but then maybe it's different. If you someone just died from an illness, no, this man has been that's very, for me that's off. Yeah. In my opinion, that's off.
Okay. I see. I kind of think no. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not wishing you happy Father's Day
on Mother's Day.
If you're my mom, I love you. I wish you happy Mother's Day. You're a phenomenal mother, but Father's Day is for fathers. And I don't know what do you guys think? Do you think fathers actually do get the love that they're supposed to get?
And now,
or you think there ain't no love in this city? Yeah, the Shupa
for fathers.
It's not as big.
No, it's not.
It's different.
It's not.
It's a situation.
It's not because it would go in music. Like you'd find a lot of music appreciating. No,
mothers.
My mama was there. my mama. Tatwa umvapo. No, my papa. No.
One of the great.
Your father.
Yeah. No,
like one of the
like
greatest.
I'm proud of you. You did ABCD for me. Like I don't know, but I've never heard of a song like that.
Appreciating
one of the greatest rappers. Tupac has got a song
Dear
about
mom.
about the mother. I heard nowhere that nigga, that guy said. There was nowhere where that guy said.
Dear dad.
Like I don't know the story like with the dad with Pac, huh?
Oh, you should actually watch with as in relating to Tupac.
I watched that movie.
I think there's a documentary actually about his mother. And is it? I think the documentary itself is actually called Dear Mama.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes a bit deeper into that whole relationship, and I think they feature like his his alleged father.
Okay.
Yeah, in that documentary. So if you can kind of get that info on that, Yeah, it was a bit of one of those relationships that was a bit estranged and
okay, I see.
But to get more details on that, you can actually go into that.
Watch that man.
So it's like another situation I came through. There's another situation I saw like online just a few days ago. So it's this man, right? He's married to this woman who's got like 2 daughters. I think he's South African.
Okay.
Yeah. But let me see if I can actually just go through the cathedral.
He's not the deadbeat father.
I read it out. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it goes like this. Stepfather gets Father's Day blues after 2 stepdaughters celebrate biological dad. Okay? That is the topic. So it's a man went viral on X after a video of him being candid about being a stepfather on Father's Day made rounds on social media platform X.
Yeah.
The man was brutally honest about the ups and downs of fatherhood, especially focusing on his now stepchildren. The video by the man received more than 200,000 views in thousands of likes on X. People shared their perspective of how step-parents face difficulties on such holidays such as Father's Day. Okay? So, the man said he has 2 stepdaughters whom he loves dearly, but feels like Father's Day is the worst holiday. He explained that he invested in their overall well-being, checking on their schoolwork, and even bought one of them a car.
Oh my God.
Okay. When Father's Day came around and one of them asked to go shopping for a Father's Day gift, he got excited thinking it was for himself. The doting father admitted he was disappointed when his stepdaughters asked for his opinion about what her biological father would like. Yeah. The man said watching his stepdaughter make Father's Day plans that didn't include him also hurt his feelings. He also admitted his daughter's biological father is a great dad as well. The gent concluded that if you are a step-parent, you must always accept that the biological parent will come first to the child, no matter how great you may be. It's crazy. I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think because he's the stepfather, he shouldn't get like, he shouldn't be expectant of that love? Or
I'm raising that issue up. Like that can get. I can't let that day pass.
Yeah.
Like I have to know. I have to have I've got questions and like what was going on. Have I done something?
Yeah.
Because
but also just case in point, he also mentioned that their father is not like those girls' biological father. He's not a deadbeat dad and what's this. He's actually a good father. Yeah, but so they went back and bought their biological father a gift whilst being in the
man's house, the stepdad's
being
house,
kept by that man.
I've got questions. I would ask. But anyway, like
as in for me, all right. It depends. Like, what's the relationship like with the stepfather? Like, is he there for them? Like, who pays for their school fees?
Yeah.
Like, who does a lot between him and the biological father?
Yeah.
A relationship, like, how do they relate with the 2 girls? Like, how does he relate with them?
Yeah.
Again, those on the other end, I think those 2 girls were a bit unfair to him. I think the best thing they would have done was getting 2 presents, one for the biological father, one for the step. Yeah, just to kind of appreciate him. Yeah,
I think. Go ahead.
Sorry. I still feel like we need to hear more from the woman's side now.
No, like I don't know like what the woman's about. Like I don't know if she knew that they were going to get a gift or what's this. Yeah, but that's how it played out. But I think from like what you said, like it's easy to just say, oh, they didn't get me a Father's Day present, and what's just like, no, we have to go into that relationship. What is it that you do that you feel that they should get you a gift? Because some dudes will just really be there not doing anything and kind of just expect things to go like, oh, yeah. Like, no, always make, no. We don't just give free gifts, man. It's not nursery school.
Do something.
Yeah, do something. You have to be present in so many ways in those children's lives. But on the other hand, I also think like, especially with such relationships.
Yeah.
Mothers need to take more of an active role in guiding their children.
Yeah.
if you marry, you have children with another man and you get married to another man. And that man is a good man. He's providing everything. He's being a father. Because being a father is not just having kids, like you said last time. It's being able to provide on so many levels, financially, spiritually, being able to guide children, how they should be in life, discipline, providing structure, and all those things. And also just being somebody they can rely on and someone who they can listen to them in their times of, when they need someone to listen to them and all those things. So a father is more than just having children with somebody. So I think mothers need to take an active role in really educating their children and helping them appreciate the new person they are with. Because children are children at the end of the day. They don't know much as per se.
True.
They are typically, in most cases, they're going to make the wrong decision. They'll make a lot of mistakes. But I can't really put it on the kids to say they're kids, man. And depending on how you raise them, that's how they're going to go. So the women also need to raise these children, better for such situations, so that if that happens, or on that particular day, she's supposed to know, these kids have their father who's there, he's present, and they love their father. But there is also this man who is also their father in another capacity, and he's doing the needful, So they need to be there to guide their children and say, look, today is Father's Day. We're going to do something for your dad, Andy. Your dad. We'll get your father a present, we'll get this one a present. Because she's older, she knows better. She should know better to see, if this goes this way, it's going to affect this guy.
This guy, because...
I think that's the way to balance. But they did. Because I'm assuming for him to be that expectant, he's he's a good father and all that type of stuff.
I kind of agree with what he said at the end. So there's a story, not to mention names, money about, this man marries this woman who already had kids, right? Took them to school from primary, secondary, and tertiary, of course. But when those kids grew up and started making money, they went to look for their biological father out there, leaving the man who did everything, sponsored their education, ABCD, So they're saying, no, you guys, you shouldn't be marrying women that have kids.
But at the end, I think that's why people say such things. Because people experience such things.
Because at the end of the day, even if you do anything good for those, don't.
Wouldn't you promote that?
No.
Promoting, because again, I don't know what that father did, but
no,
father is a father. Father is a father. You cannot run away.
Okay, cool. I understand that. There's two ways that I look at it. Number one, I think when the children turn out like that, I think there are certain values that they're missing. Okay. If you come up from an upright home where they teach you the right values and everything, you should be mature enough to understand that this person has sacrificed a lot for your well-being. And you should be able to show them appreciation for that.
Yeah.
If you don't, it shows the way in which you were brought up. That's why I was saying the mothers also have a very big role in that. They must inculcate in those children, say look, this person is your father. They're not your biological father, but they're taking on the fatherly role. They're there providing for you school. He said, he would help them with their homework, bought one of them a car. He seems to be a caring father. So on that one end, these children need to be raised right, and I think the women need to take a bigger role because they are closer to the children, and they need to set up the children for that mindset. Say, this is your father. You must appreciate him. Okay? Yes, you have your biological father. We're not taking that away from him. But at the end of the day, it's not like this person is just here doing this for fun.
Yeah.
Show some sense of appreciation. So it says something about their upbringing or their parents, maybe their mother to a certain extent, But also for gents, those who are stepfathers, or if you're going to be a stepfather, or even just a father, You know, I think don't do certain things for rewards. Because you'll be heartbroken. Sometimes even like just fathers with their biological children, or even mothers with their biological children, parents with their biological children, you know, they get hurt by their children because of certain decisions they make, because they're expecting so much from these kids. So don't be too expectant. Be expectant of yourself.
That's all.
And also be the best version you can be. You know, be the best man you can be the best woman you can be. Because when you are the best, like, you know, people always gravitate towards you. Like, I bet if that man was a billionaire and all of that, that story wouldn't be like that, you know. Yeah, they might go and look for their father and what's this, but they will always acknowledge that is their father, because, you know, he's this big and encompassing thing. So, anyway, maybe that's just my opinion. Maybe it's a mature way of looking at it. Tell us about it in the comments, you know. Tell us what you think in the comments so that we can... Liaise, let's learn more. But the way I look at it, like, just be the best version of you. If it doesn't come, hey, well and good, you know.
That's the best.
Like, I'm just going to be my best. Like, I'm going to be my best to an extent that you can't ignore me. You're going to want to tell your friends that I'm your dad.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to force it on you, but you won't be able to ignore me. You will want to tell people that. I think that's the way I look at it. Yeah. I mean, look at Diddy, right?
Yeah.
Diddy's got his biological children, but then there's that one kid who's like not his son biological. He's a stepson from one of his former
wives.
I don't know if it's wife or partner.
Okay.
Yeah, but this guy is always there. His father is still alive though. But he's always there, and he's there say, oh, this man is my father, and what's this? You know, but it's only because this guy is a towering figure, and, you know, he's that kind of, he's built that reputation. So even this kid is now there leaving his father to claim that this is, you know, that kind of thing. So I think as a man, you also just have to be, you know, do your best that, you know, let people fight to want to be related to you. Don't just expect things.
That's my cousin.
Yeah, you need, that type of thing.
Cousin one day,
so that's that with you know, all of that. But just to continue the same vein of family and everything, and children disappointing parents. So there's this other story I came across again. You know, a son swindled his parents of 100,000 kwacha. Okay, all of that money gone. These are his biological parents.
Oh, that's the son. Is it a 19-year-old boy? Yeah?
Yes.
That went to. I think that he's gone to buy. They sent him to buy.
The story was that his parents, they are traders. They buy different crops. For resale. So they were buying maize and soybeans.
And this is not in Lusaka?
Out there. No, it's not in Lusaka. It's somewhere out there in the rurals. So they had like 100,000 like to buy up whatever stock it is that they were going to get, the maize and the soybeans. So when you're going to buy those things, you set up like depots, like where you stockpile your grain or whatever it is that you're buying. So you go there in the rurals, you let people know that, oh, you're out there buying and they can find you at such and such a place. Then they come through there with their maize or their soybeans, then you buy it at whatever negotiated rate that it is you buy. Once you stockpile, then now you probably transport and go and sell wherever you're selling. Yeah. So his parents had 100,000 in total. So initially, they made one depot in one area. Where they wanted to buy like the same soybeans and I think maize. So they set up that depot and they left their son there and they left him 50,000. Say, okay, when people come with the maize and what's this, buy using this money. So they went to another area to go and set up another depot so that they could get more crop from that side as well. So whilst they were there, this guy then comes through to them and tells them, oh, that money that you left has actually finished. I've bought the maize and what's this. I need more money because there's more people actually buying this side. So I don't know if that side they weren't really getting so much traction and people buying the maize. So they gave this boy like the 50,000 and he left. He supposedly went back to the same initial depot he was at.
Oh, yeah.
So when his parents now followed up with him now to go check on the stock that they were expecting, it was nothing.
They found nothing.
This guy was gone.
Hey, shit.
This gentleman wasn't around. He went.
He disappeared. And picture that, 100,000 gone.
So Dave, but he's been locked up.
I don't know. I don't know if he's been locked up. Like as far as I read,
he's just supposed to be locked up. Because like now, because they have to. I don't know if the parents are going to drop the charges. Because obviously,
what would you do if that's your son, man?
Hey,
100,000.
As in for me, just to set as an example to the rest of the kids that we have, I wouldn't drop the charges. He's a thief.
Yo, you would lock up your own son, bro. Your own son.
I can do that.
This boy is just 19,
like,
man.
Yeah, true. He's like, as in for me, land up as well. Even in future, if you watch this, I'm gonna make it. I swear.
So the woman marrying this guy, you've heard what this man
I swear.
So
this
be careful.
To lock up your kids.
Be careful with your son. Make sure he does the right thing.
He's a thief. Okay, at the end of the day, is he not a thief?
He is, but he's your son. And again, he's young also, you check.
How old is the dude?
I think he's 19.
He's 19,
an adult. 19-year-old boy.
He's an adult.
Okay, yeah, but you can say you can say he's an adult, but at 19, bro, you can be an adult legally, but we all know at 19 you're nowhere near the logical thinking point. You're going to make a ton of mistakes, you know.
So here's the thing: if they are not locking you up, I will make sure they beat you so.
Just to inculcate that lesson that you don't do that.
If you're so no doubt, man, I disown you. You're out of my family. That's me.
But another option also, that guy has to wait for that also. Under strict so it didn't pay what it means is that but somehow that you're going to regain this money somehow you will be working,
you will work for it,
then famous structures in place but because there's nothing that you can do. The money is gone. Shani ngamabomvya shani paya kutia isa abakwati nomba matamu to regret kibati kai wacho for parent number after I can 1 month 2 months mwana for a chura normal 19 fiesha nakafumaliza bado impela limishinge watambo kutondonganya nomba like maybe that's the only son that you have or what.
I'm sure like his mother will be in shambles there crying.
Yeah.
No, just let him go.
No, and that's a problem we have, right? Ladies, that mlekeni mwana. The whole thing of mlekeni mwana. He'll be there again doing all sorts of nonsense, right, to the society. Knowing that he's stalling for you, you are biological parents. That means he can even steal for others. So you yourself, like the parents, please let him be an example. Because what if he stole money for other people? What will they do with him?
Because I think how much time is that for theft like that, where you steal money like that?
Probably
what's the sentence?
Like 10. So
less than 10. Huh? Something like that. We need to see because it's a lot of money.
100.
Because just to add some perspective to this issue, like 100,000 kwacha is about $4,000 at the current rate. So
it's about $4,000.
Yeah, about $4,000.
It's a lot. It's a lot of money.
Well, like I know I'm big on making sure that kids are responsible and teaching them about their consequences. Well, first of all, it depends, right? If this is the first time he did that,
first offense,
I would give him a pass. Not to say that I'll completely let him go. I'll punish you in some way, shape, or form.
Or just like
I might I'm definitely going to punish you, but I won't get you arrested. Because that's another thing. Like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for the first time. Said you are young, you are 19 years old, you did something dumb, which is what young people do. Because then again, gents, let's be honest. Let's not be high and mighty here. We've all been 19 years old. We've all been that age. You can't tell me that you did everything correct. You know?
Yeah.
You've definitely done some things that were like, you know, but yeah, you were forgiven, you know. Yeah. you've probably gotten some heinous things.
A lot of
so
things,
you know, there's also that aspect to it. Yes, there's the issue of teaching responsibility, but you must also understand, like at that age, 19, how is the mindset of a person thinking, you know? And also, I'd really try to understand, like, okay, there are certain children who are a problem.
That's just the problem.
They are habitual types. If he's that kind of child, and that's not the first incident, then that becomes something. But if it's the first incident, I'll become a bit more curious as a parent to understand, like, okay, what made you do that, though? Like, what led you to that? Talk to me so let me understand, you know? I'll punish you for a bit, but I'm not going to take you to the sticks to say, oh, lock him up. No.
And again, like you also know, like in your mind now, you'll be thinking like, so like you said, so what if this guy's life now would have been in court cases?
Yeah, of
almost
course.
Even going away. I don't know. So you're also thinking about that. So you're thinking like, he means it for
Yeah, but again, you see, that's where now, like at that point, we give you that one pass. Because we've given you the benefit of the doubt. There are all those reasons I've given. You are 19, you're young, you could have made a dumb mistake. Let's not act all high and mighty. We've all been young. There are a lot of nonsense that we've all done here that we probably can't get into. So based off of that aspect of humanity, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that. And if it's the first time you're doing it, that even makes it. That's why even like when you commit certain crimes, they have what they call first-time offender. And that can actually gain you, I think it does gain you some leniency on certain sentencing. But if you're a repeat offender, then now we have every reason to lock you up. So for that one instance, I'll say, okay, cool. This, and this. Of course, there will be measures that will say, it doesn't mean like, it will just be like, oh, we'll just, okay, no, don't lock him up. We'll just be hugging and kissing you. No. We are going to punish you in some way or form, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. We're not going to take you to the nth degree because of the reasons I gave before.
Yeah.
But if you go and do that again, there we are looking you up. You're on your own.
So you've seen, let this be locked up. And also, a disaster to the society. That's a thief.
And also, I think there are certain crimes or certain things that someone does that I think you can give them a pass on. So, for instance, like in this case, we're talking about theft, like money. Okay, yes, it's injurious and what's this, but I think there are more heinous crimes. That I'm not even going to negotiate that you're just going. So in the case of, let's say, essay crimes, meaning assault crimes, defilement and all these things. If you have a child who does that to somebody else's child, no.
I'm not doing anything with that. Just take the nigga away.
It's not even up for discussion. Like, that is beyond me. That's not something I can correct. You must go to another institution where they can, recreate your mind.
Recreate your mind or break your mind. Is it breaking your mind or recreating your mind?
For those situations, those are serious things that carry, like, very heavy consequences. You know, you damage people's futures and families and all of that. And I've kind of noticed, like, you know, in our, I'm just speaking from the Zambian setup. It's something that a lot of families, like, the way these things are handled is it's pathetic, for lack of better terms. It's very appalling. You know, you hear of cases like, you hear of a situation where maybe this boy, maybe he's a bit older, maybe he's 17 or something. He pounces on someone's daughter, a child, he defiles the child. And then now you hear stupid things. One elderly man, he will, like, grown man working, he'll pounce on somebody's child, maybe who's in like grade 9 and what's this. And then now you find there's this whole foolishness of, no, send Twika the punch to land, no, let's discuss it. We'll pay damages and what's this. And, the family to the offender goes to plead to the family of the victim. Say, no, please don't lock up this person. Yeah, this is our child. We're pleading, and they offer all these things as a way of pleading to the victim's family to not get the other person locked up. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's poverty or what. A lot of families accept that, and then things just remain as they are.
Yeah.
That's wrong, because that behavior now, most people like that will go back and do that again.
That's it.
You move from that girl to another child, to another child, to another child. It doesn't go. And they just keep building on it. And I think to a certain extent, these are now the same chaps or people you find where, 70-year-old man, he did this. Like, no, you only caught him at 70, but he's been doing that
for a long time.
For a long time, But there's always been somebody to alleviate him from his consequences. So for that particular situation, for me, no. You do that, you're beyond reproach.
But for Ndalama, you're not letting him go.
That's something we can work on.
But looking at the situation, I think, in my opinion, I think this wasn't their first time trusting the young guy with such kind of man. I think he's been plotting that. I was like, okay.
He's been building.
Yeah, he's been building. That's not the first time they trusted him with such kind of amount of money. So I think he was planning, I think the next time they're giving me such money, he made some plan.
Okay. I get what you mean. They had given him money.
He was building the trust.
Yeah. So they actually did trust him, and he actually used to deliver. But this time he decided to.
Because there's no way they're going to give you such kind of amount of money just first time. No.
Quite fingo amkongole mpia.
Anyway,
you build that.
Wabwesha no kubwesha. Ulakupere you wabwesha. But now we show now kwata to inga Africa fati 10 plane. Inga Africa fati 10.
That's being a crooked chap. Hey. This amount.
So that wasn't the first time. I think at some point they left him with a 20. Then he did everything perfectly. I was like, that no son, you're doing good.
Yeah.
And the next time make a 30. 30. He did everything well.
Yeah.
I was like, son is doing good. Then they leave you with a 50. I was like, okay. So you've left me with a 50.
Yeah.
I was like, things here are going proper. Yeah. I think I need another 50. But not knowing that I want to.
And you know what? I think at the end of the investigation, guys, it's stories like this, like we need to know what the mind was thinking.
Yes.
At the end of the day, they need to show the people, so this guy, if you remove no mama you thief, kachingare to no dim kagiona kamshupa, agatore go to buy.
Bro, a 19-year-old bro thinking in that context.
In Mukush.
Man,
if it's in Lusaka,
I would understand.
What was that guy supposed to do? I forget him staying home.
Probably just bounce out and but that's the thing. Like what you said makes sense. Like for me, I would really want to know. Say, okay, bro, when you took that money, what was your plan now afterwards? Like, what made you say, let me get it? And then what did you plan to do with that money afterwards?
Like,
I need to know. Like,
were you trying to double that money?
Yeah, but maybe, do you think maybe he was trying to bet with the money and he lost it?
With the way gambling has affected a lot of youth, he might maybe wanted to do the same. It's like, maybe. Ganaivika pakandeke. I think nangwapanga kona 5 zari, then I'll return the 100. Hey.
Simple math, guys. Papa.
I think for me, I think that is the most immediate thing I can think of. Like for a youth in this time, like for him to get that money, I'm thinking maybe he said, "Oh, let me get this money, bet on one game, maybe even just with odds of 2." Put 100 on it. I get a 200. I get my own 100.
I return the 100.
I return the 100. You know, it makes perfect sense. in a gambler's mind and a young person's mind. But anyway, it will remain a mystery. We will never
but again,
really know.
Looking at this guy, you're only 19.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do with 100,000 kwacha?
No,
what are you spending it on?
But I think also another thing that contributes, social media is messed up. Because when social media has done is shown people like different aspects of life that they could never have seen. It's exposed them to different lifestyles and different things. So it doesn't matter whether you're in Lusaka or in the rural areas in Mukushi or somewhere in the village in Pika or what's this. If you have a phone, you're going to see how the people are living in Lusaka. You're going to see how the people are living in the Copper Belt. So these guys are seeing people are seeing what other people are doing. And on social media, there's a lot of faking, lifestyles. People will post pictures supposedly doing certain things and whatnot. So that can be very appealing for a young person.
Too much.
So you're seeing all these young people who are on social media like, yo, I own my own business. I've got so many cars. I just used to sell... I used to sell sweets on the street. Now I've got my cars. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So you're seeing that lifestyle and you're thinking, man, I want that. So the social media thing, it's a real thing. Just trying to live that life and because again, in some of these areas and for most of our country, life is hard, man. It's hard. Not everyone. There are some of us who are comfortable and what's this, but people are, they're going through it. Now you have a child or a person who's in that mindset, and they might not necessarily be suffering, but let's just say you're living in the rural areas. You see this glamorous life. You see these fine babes on the thing. You see these cars. You see a boy that your age is there. Ichola tata, ichola.
Ichola chilife paranga. Tuwasenda vi wapanga vina nikani.
66, bro. You just ngombe.
So with social media, just adding up to what you've said. Whatever you're hooked on, there's something that's been there's something that in Lusaka.
Yes.
So it's that you can mention anything. The Copper Belt to be your best so if I just find myself so as campio, why? So you try to organize yourself. So now
find yourself in the situation.
But the problem is that young peers, of course, social media has kind of created peer pressure on youths. But the thing is that one might not have this information who is in Pika, where in the rural areas, where they'll get to know that people live fake on social media.
Yeah, and you see, that's the thing. The people who get hit the most with it is people who come from outside the city. And I think to a certain extent it's pretty much like that in most places. Because maybe if you go to SA as well, you see how they live in Johannesburg. It's a very different life. If you're from maybe an area somewhere in KwaZulu, a smaller town, and what's this, you see here in Zambia, you coming from, let's say, Choma, Kaoma, in the south, Kalavo in the west, somewhere in the northwestern, Petauke in the eastern, Kasama, like Kobununga. You're coming from areas like that. So what you're seeing, you don't even know that's true or not. So the people who come from outside Lusaka are the ones who get hit the most, because them they come thinking, oh, this is real. And they have that real pressure to what's this. Meanwhile, the LSK people, they know oh, it's fake it till you make it. They can't
that's all.
Because you can kind of tell somebody's from out of town by the way they're spending their money and stuff. You see, even the CBOs, when they come through, you can tell that this one's from CB. You just see the spending, the what's this is not it. But it's that kind of situation. So there's this whole glamorous lifestyle that's presented. And people fall into that trap of believing it's real, and they can also.
And people are just faking it on social media, they're just doing it for the sake of numbers.
Yeah,
you meet them in real life, you'll be surprised, so you look at him from head to toe like, okay, so what you see on social media? Can't you tell you more about him?
There's some American like influencer, even in the US, like it's so bad. Like, in the US, there's like just some guys who are so sharp. What they've done is they've created like a set which looks like it's a first class like flight section. So a lot of influencers go there and use that to shoot their content from there. Like, just booked a flight, going to Bali now, Shanshan will go, and they'll be there in that set. Next, another one will come, they pay for that same set, and what's this? So now people are starting to catch on, like, oh, some of this, like, people just rent these things, you know. People will go rent mansions, like, for a day. Like, or even though they have apartments. Go rent an apartment for a day, take pictures in there and make it look like, you know, when you're at home and you got nothing to do, like just thinking about the next business move, and you know, like another kid will see that and they'll be in pressure now, like, man, how's this guy doing this, you know? But it's a very dangerous thing. I think the youth need more sensitization on that.
True.
Because it can actually create a very bad situation. Because if you remember, there was also the situation for there was the younger guys, the gentlemen who had abducted a number of women here in Lusaka. And kept them somewhere in a house there in Chalala, somewhere in that neighborhood. That was a very bad situation. It was a very wicked thing that those guys did. But if you go back and see, like, one of the posts from this guy, supposedly, like, you know, it was those kinds of posts like, you know, when I make it big, I'll make it big, and that type of thing. This obsession with trying to make it big. Yes, you know,
it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand. You know, and you know, you end up in a situation like that where you do something so wicked and, you know, terrible. And it just creates a bad situation for everyone.
It's crazy.
So I think it's something that really needs to be looked into. Some of these things might not be that bad, but you can create monsters like that. Because people want money now. So that they can compete with what they're seeing now. Now, it doesn't work like that. Like, making money or building wealth doesn't work like that. It takes time.
You don't make money like it's a Nigerian movie, bro. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Then if I know these people now, like, trying to get into rituals and all these things, So it's that type of situation.
Oh, man.
Speaking about rituals and all that, like, there's this thing that I came across on, there's this pasta. It's called the Coppola pasta.
Oh, the Coppola pasta,
He actually said that there could be...
Did he actually say that?
Yeah, on his post, like, you can go to his page.
Okay, let me just see if I can find that. The Coppola pasta. But he can rap, though. I like
Yeah,
He's got bars.
He's got bars, man.
The Coppola pasta.
He's got bars. Okay, so this is the Coppola pasta. Okay. So this is on Kalemba. Let me just read through.
Oh, okay.
Briefly on what it says here. Yeah, so this is on Kalemba. So it says, there's witchcraft in the music industry. They took me to a river. That's the Coppola pasta there. Gospel artist Pastor Malachi Ngandu, popularly known as the Coppola Pastor, shared that the music industry is a very dark and most celebrated artists are practicing witchcraft. The Coppola Pastor recounted how he was almost initiated into practicing witchcraft in the early years of his music career. He shared that a certain celebrated artist years ago talked to him into initiation unknowingly. The gospel artist, who has been in the industry for 2 decades, revealed that most celebrated artists use charms when performing or recording songs to lure people into celebrating them. There's witchcraft in the industry. I was performing at a particular event, but before I went on stage, people booed me like go away. I wasn't popular by then, and because I was so eager, I did some freestyles and people gathered and realized I was talented. So when I was leaving the stage, one of the big artists came and pulled me aside after performing and told me that I was talented, but there were some things I had not yet done, he narrated. They said, call me, and it started out like that. And mostly, when you are being initiated, they will come like they care. Few meetings later, I thought it was money, so I started contacting him that maybe he would connect me. He would go to some river. We had to go to some river to do some initiations. He narrated that witchcraft that is in the music industry actually works, and most artists were practicing it. Okay, I'll just end it there. There's a whole bunch of stuff there.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the Coppola pastor there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
On his side, he's got like experience. Like something happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he says that, like those are his words. But I've never heard anyone else come to say like this thing is happening, and if there's any sort of non-canon that we can know that this is true. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Blessed, what are your thoughts on it? I know the guy says like that's his account of what happened, but what are your thoughts on that? Yeah, because you guys are artists in the music industry. Yeah, have you had an experience like that?
Okay, for now, no. I haven't had such an experience.
Are you sure, bro? The Illuminati didn't approach you
No.
with an email. You're not doing these features guy, that we're saying.
This guy just said.
But you know the funny thing, eh?
Yeah.
I saw some dude. After the Chile One feature, then we met with this guy. So I was trying to greet him. He said, "Nah, no, me, bro, I can't greet you now. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what you're into. Like, how did you
get the feature?
How did you get the feature, bro? You might get my destiny." So me, I was like, I don't know the papa son. I was like, so bro, are you going to think of me like that for real?
Yeah.
But I said, no, anyway, that's the own problem, man. If you don't greet me, I'm okay with that. So, for me, like, when I saw that, the marker, I think, the Coppola pastor, I don't know, he might have had an experience with that, but for me as now, I haven't had that experience. So, I don't think it's, I know maybe it might be there, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Saint?
I know me, no experience.
That's too quick, man. I don't believe you, man. You might have touched a few things here and there, man. No Show experience. Us where them ritual things is,
man. Nothing like, but like no experience just yet. But I'm not naive to not think that certain things cannot be there. Yeah. So with him, like with that experience, I think there's something to it. Like people need to look. But if you feel what can we do?
But do you think it's that prevalent? Because from the way he explains, like a lot of these top guys are actually into that. To that extent.
You should have been careful in saying that. So immediately people now looking at who's the biggest guy.
Who's the biggest guy?
So that guy eventually. So it means that guy is doing that. So from his statement, it means that guy is doing that.
Yeah.
And it's wrong. Some people pushing some people very hard work for but na privilege I don't know. It's just these are normal people, guys. Hard work you want to start auditing, but it's there an endorsement do so you start to mention if it's wrong.
And I don't know why is here's the thing. So a lot of people right now out there, especially families and people in church, and a lot of people out there in the society. They only think when you are a musician, then for you to make it out there, you need to join some cult or some sort, or you need to be in a Satanist or in Illuminati ABCD. They don't believe like you can actually make it without the mentioned things. So the moment you're into music, kulamba like they'll start questioning you, like, for
real? Like, has somebody actually told you that?
Yeah. It's like so if you reach time we tatrefa tumfati mwamba ABCD. Yeah. They actually think when you start making money, probably you might be taken one by one, my family.
Yeah.
But actually, it's just hard work.
It's hard work, yeah. Because with me, like, there's a certain, like just like he said, like, he's got a friend that asked him that. For me, I was talking to a female. So now we reached the point where, so what else do you do? What, like, I do this music thingy, like, this is a serious thing. She was twisted, so.
Yeah.
So, like, the first thing on her mind, and then she was serious, she was saying, my mind, even my family, when they hear you're a musician, it's difficult like that. Because now, so, like, she even has, like, she told me one story where, like, she knows this certain guy was in that same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was like, so in my end up one, she wanted me to explain why. I don't know nothing about that. I'm just pushing for it. When I reach there, I'm going to know. Hey, like, she wanted to know those moves. Like, you guys, I know this thing is serious in there. I just don't know who does it, but it's serious in there. 1 or 2 people. So like, I don't know about that. But then,
yeah, because that narrative is quite prevalent in the music industry.
Yeah.
A lot of people like pointing at, not just in Zambia, but I've seen even like Nigeria. Then my YouTube videos you find like just like a random headline. What Davido did to do what?
Sacrifice his son.
Things like that.
Allegedly, people saying those things.
Sensationalism, but it's one of those things, man. Like. Personally, I think.
I don't even. You don't believe in it?
No. Look, I'm an African man.
Okay.
I'm not going to say I don't believe in that stuff. I do believe people do use those things, and some of these things happen. But I don't think one, it's a unique thing just to the music industry. It's in all walks of life.
Yes.
Then 2, I don't think, again, it's as prevalent as people are trying to make it. I think to a certain extent, I don't know, maybe I'm just looking at it from an off angle. Sometimes when you struggle too much as a people, it's hard for you to accept success.
Yeah, true.
So when you see a certain level of success, because you can't fathom that can happen to you, you can only attribute it to supernatural.
Could it be?
Something, You don't think that it can actually happen like organically. It starts creating, and it's not a good thing to really have out there in that sense, because it starts putting that thing out there and making, like you said, it almost paints the situation like, so no one can really be successful in this thing like that. Like somebody has to do this. And it kind of discredits the people who are already successful. Like, they just made it. But you know how people on speculations are, like, they say, like, the court of public opinion is quite heavy, man. Because just from him saying that, I'm sure if you go into the comments, there's already people trying to allude to who's doing that and whatnot.
That's why he did this.
It creates this, So somehow it justifies for those people who didn't make it for one reason or the other, or those who are still trying to push to think, that's why I'm not blowing, it's because this person is doing that. So you are somehow justifying your lack of success by attributing it, say, this person is doing this unfair thing and whatnot. Like, which I don't think is a correct thing. I think to a certain extent, and that's not to take away that, okay, there might be people doing that here and there. But I think to a certain extent, there's a bit of, in my opinion, it's rooted in jealousy, sort of like. Because you can't equal the playing field with that successful person. You now have to find a way to bring them down so that you level up. So I think when it comes to that, personally, like, to that extent, no. I think guys just work hard. And at the end of the day, if you are a Christian, as you claim, if you pray, as you claim, what are you afraid of?
Because he's the Coppola pastor guy. Like, he's a gospel artist. So does it mean people in the gospel industry, or it's just general?
He didn't specify to say that it's in the gospel, and they just said in the music industry as a general statement.
I've got a question for both of you guys. Do you think if an example would be Yo Maps, because he's the biggest. So like we say, do you think that being attached to him will ever injure his brand?
I don't think so at this point. No, because he's already gotten to where he's at, and people already have a narrative of how he has gotten there.
Yeah.
It's different if there were those narratives in the beginning when he was starting that. But when it comes like at the top there where he is, like it's easy just to write it off as now that's just malicious or jealous.
Yeah. Because I remember like even international wise, there's a point where people just say, you know, at Jay-Z, we've like
Jay-Z and
like,
Beyonce, Illuminati.
Like these guys don't even show it no more. Kanye West and
Rihanna,
what. But that didn't spoil that guy. Like, first of all, Jay-Z never even talked about nothing like that. But it was only in the songs when you could hear like, guy, why would he say that?
But I think in those cases, they're just feeding off of that.
Yeah. So like, when you get to think of it now, like now that he's now like that, I have never seen those moves being made.
Yeah.
Like where he says things like that to jeopardize his people thinking like, this guy really like that? Or it's just, it was a time.
And I think it's not a good mindset to have generally. You know, it's like what they always said, work hard enough so that people start saying you're a satanist, you know, because it's something that people have realized that because people are suffering so much and they can't seem to have a way to get through. Whenever they see someone successful, that jealousy kicks in and now you're thinking, oh, no, it's not possible. You know, like how? Yeah, it's not a very good way of looking at things. It breeds a lot of superstition and what's this. And look, to each his own beliefs. That's not to discredit people who believe in that. I respect that. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But personally, like, I don't think that's the case. There might be one or two people doing that, but I don't think it's like some Nigerian movie type stuff where like, oh, we take you to the middle of the ocean and we do this type of stuff, you know. And I think sometimes when people look at evil, evil is a funny thing. Like, even in the Bible, it kind of says like, you know, the devil is cunning. It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's not simplistic things that you would think as a person that he's going to come like, oh, hey, in that way, and what's this? The devil will come in the most simplest ways, and you know, a way in which like you can't even object.
Yeah.
Not even, we don't even need to go to rituals and stuff. There's just things that will be put in front of you that will, you know, when presented to you, because they're wrapped up in such a way and they're so insidious, you know, insidious in the sense that it's very hidden and such. You would never even think it's that. But as you keep going, then now you start to feel the corruption and all those things. Because jealousy in itself is an evil. Yeah. And sometimes when people are jealous, they come up with all sorts of things to justify why certain things are the way they are. Right? Especially when it comes to success. You know? But that's not to say he's jealous, but a lot of other people, I think, generally have that kind of thing. So the reality, just work hard, man.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I've done a bit of work in the music industry, like working with artists and just different kinds of people. You know, there's a reason why there's so few people that succeed. It's not to say, like, the way I look at it, it's not to say that there are rituals that they're doing. If you look at the people who are out there still running and, you know, trying to get up there, when you see the patterns, their behaviors, the way they are looking at the business, the way they're handling things, it's not hard to see why they're not succeeding. There's a lot of things that I think artists just ignore, they're ignorant about, they don't know, they don't try to educate themselves. You know, the work ethic and what's this, like, I have a saying, I always say, I'll pick anybody with good work ethic over somebody who's got talent and they've got no commitment and they just think things happen automatically. So, you know, you're not going to have a very large number of successful people. If one, like even just the way our industry is quite young, you know, there are a lot of structures that are not in place to promote the success of a huge number of people. You know, it's going to be very difficult for many to become successful in that space because there's a lot of just things that are not happening. You know, people are just at a certain level. They're not playing this game at the level that they should. Just basics. I think that's where we should be focusing more on in terms of conversations. Say, okay, guys, what are you doing wrong? what are you not doing that is not getting you to the place that you're supposed to be? Rather than speculating that certain people are doing what's this. For the prophet there, I'm sure he has his experience. That I can't take that away from him.
Yeah.
But personally, my advice would be to the rest of the other people, like, work hard. And don't just work hard. Work smart. Educate yourself, you know, so that you don't always keep thinking there's a boogeyman out there to get you. Yeah.
Yeah, important.
Some dude was like, right now this guy hasn't yet joined. He was telling me, I'll tell you when he joins. I was like, really, bro? Right now he hasn't joined. I'll tell you when he joins. It's like, so right now, if you don't know that I've joined, like, how are you going to know if I was to join, man? Like, why are you thinking of me like that? All right, when I in the actual song, like I did with the dude, like I'd put in a lot of work, man.
And you know, like, you know, I think sometimes when you haven't been close to people, like who've actually made it, bro. Like, because you're just seeing things from afar, like we were saying with the social media, where you're just looking at all these lifestyles and you think this is what this is. Like, take some time, man. Be friends with somebody who's doing music. Not just anybody, but there are those people you can see that they're dedicated and what's this. Spend time with them. Just see just exactly what they do, how much they spend, how much pressure they go through to make some of these things work, bro. Yeah, I'll give you, like, an experience. Like, this is something that I've seen, like, you know. It's a friend of mine, like, from SA. Shout out Mondise. So I met Mondise in first year at KwaZulu Natal, University of KwaZulu Natal. So we were in the same, like, residence. So Mondise introduced me to his brother, Sanele. So I got to know Sanele through Mondise, and we would chill because I would make beats and stuff. I met Sanele in 2009, and Mondise, I met them in 2009. When I met Sanele, he was saying to me, like, bro, me, I've quit school. I'm trying to do this DJing thing, and I'm trying to be a producer. Yeah. You know? That was 2009, bro. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, man. Because we were just chatting at that time, and no one knows where this thing will end up and what's this. But one thing I observed with Mondise and Sanele was their dedication to what they were aspiring to do. Yeah. Whenever there were events at school, like uni, they would be there. They would try to get themselves on the list DJing. Anytime they had to DJ and once they would be there, you know. Even on those there are those chill spots on campus, which are like, they just have really just dudes there, dudes who drink a lot. There are no chicks there and stuff. Like, you would find the guys would be there on a day when they're not even too many people. It's just maybe 6, 7 drunk dudes cheering them on, but they're there on the decks doing their thing. That was 2009, bro.
Serious stuff.
Even when I came back to Zambia, like, he would hit me up in the emails, like, yo, bro, do you have this and this plugin and what's this? So send me this, send me that, and be like, yo, just come to SA, man. Like, you know, like, here's popping, bro. That was 2009, 2010 when you could see the grind that these guys would go through. Fast forward to 2018. That's when Sanele blew.
He dropped his...
Yes, because he goes under the name Sanele Musician.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he released a song, Akana Mali, I think. Akana Mali. Yeah, that song. That song took off, became a big thing, you know. In the next few years, I'm seeing, this guy's in the studio, Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys.
Oh, yeah. He has gone.
So for me, I've been a witness to somebody who had a vision and a dream, and they took it to that level, you know. But I also saw the times they never had money. I also saw the times they didn't have gigs. I also saw the times they would play even when the situation wasn't conducive. I've seen them grind, you know. So that gives me an appreciation to know that, bro, this thing takes time. And it's a lot of work, you know. And a bit of some chance in there. But, the bros made it like that, you know. So I think people need to hear more of that rather than type stories. Of course, those are cautionary tales to say, don't get into things like that. They really don't end up in proper ways, rather than just to put it out there and say, a lot of people are using these things. Because you know, like young people, we already lack a lot of guidance with the young people.
Yeah.
So the way they're going to receive that message also, you know, is going to be a certain way. You know, to just, people are doing that, so I need to be what's this. Now you become more, you know, suspicious and what's this, rather than proactive, and, you know, just do what you have to do and avoid where you're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, because other than just the whole witchcraft thing, even just lifestyle, man. The music industry, for me, I would say the bigger thing with the music industry is the lifestyle. If you're not careful, you lose yourself in this lifestyle, which is not a very progressive thing. And over the years, it eats away at your character and you as a person and leaves you with all these issues.
Lifestyle.
Because, lifestyle, you know, drinking, you know, or partying every time, chicks. And unfortunately, some people think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, once we enter the industry, man, we're going to have all these chicks, you know.
Beautiful ladies.
Have the cars, I'll do this and this. But 80% of the time, bro, I mean, look at anyway, maybe you guys can tell us better because you're in the industry. Are you guys partying, you know? Are you getting that lifestyle? You're living that rock star lifestyle? Say it, man. You know something, man.
No, and I've sketched. There's a knife,
you know, so all of those, like, just like partying and, you know, that's what people think it is. But it's a job, you know. I mean, look at Your Maps. This is one thing I'll give credit to Your Maps. So we talk about him a lot here. But we have to big him up. He's a Zambian product. For all of you
Maps
out
should
there who
come
haven't
through,
heard
you know?
Your Maps' music, go out there, listen to it. He's the best thing. Your body here. Yeah. So when you look at Your Maps, he's the biggest artist in this country. But if you notice something about Your Maps, he has a consistency with his music. He never stops dropping music. And if you've been in the music industry for a bit, you kind of can tell, like, I think this guy spends a lot of time in the studio. He's always trying to cook up the next idea. So I don't think he even has that time to just be... Those small things you see him, like, on his thingy, that's just him playing with it. And that also helps boost his marketing and all of that. But that man is in the studio way more than any of these other guys. And he's the most successful artist, which is the funny thing. But you find a dude who ain't never had some records. He had one hit song 5 years ago.
Never number one.
Never number one.
Never number one. You know, you had a song that went platinum in your bedroom and in your neighborhood, you know, like in your road, like.
Hey, man, relax.
Jesus Christ.
And you ain't trying to be in the studio, like, you're not there, you know.
You know the other guy that's got the same, like, work ethic? And then, like, even people say that know him. Like, he's got the same work ethic. It's Tishon. Tishon has been dropping. Like,
he's been dropping.
He's been dropping because even now, like, he's his job. But the attention is just on that man because Your Maps has got a story.
Brand matters.
The brand is so heavy. The other guy cannot touch him. There's nothing attached to Sean, like, at the moment. That
I think we need to talk about that, like, on sometime soon, about, you know, how certain artists are bigger in terms of what's...
Because he's still dropping and he's still relevant. But then the attention is just not there. You could see that. I'm not saying Limbi Tavrish.
No, that's a real thing. Again, it's not even a shade. It's a real thing. Like, the man in the spotlight right now is Your Maps.
He's the man. You know?
So there are other issues to that, you know. But we'll go into that. So that's that. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a lot of witchcraft in the music industry? Also, is it just the music industry? You know, what about just in the offices? You know, these regular jobs. Like, what's up with that? Or do we just need to work harder and also appreciate that some people are going to be more successful than us, and we also just have to put our heads down and, you know, see how we can forge ahead. So that's with that, man. Another interesting topic, away from that, a segue just to kind of, you know, cool things down from the witchcraft and everything. Yeah, we need to check you. You guys are in the industry. I think there's something that you know that you're not telling us.
They told Blessed that they will know.
Yeah, we will know. The homies that you tell us.
The homies will know. Nigga acting so different. Nigga don't go see his friends no more.
When he starts answering the phone, you know, we see him buy a cuckoo.
Yeah. Bro, me, I can't even get money from you because I don't know what you want to do with music.
Like, what do you even have? Like,
Snake was so heavy on the one day.
like, bro,
I'm just a dude trying to make. I'm just a dude trying to make it, bro. Like, Papa sana mwandu bakwade. So I was like, hey, anyway, let me make my money so I can enjoy myself.
No, we are watching you. We'll know.
Yeah. Let me make the money so I can enjoy myself.
Don't enjoy yourself too much, though.
Yeah.
When you touch.
Yeah. So there's this issue of massage parlors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's been a lot of massage parlors mushrooming all over the city in different places. You know.
You've been to one, bro.
What?
Have you ever been to one?
No.
Can you even point out one?
No, I can show you one. I can show you one.
Yeah.
Not that I've been there, but it was opposite where like my brother used to stay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just opposite their house. So I always used to make fun of him, like, you know, one day, like, gonna think you came from there. You know, your daughter's gonna be like, oh, my dad went from
And you know the funny thing is that yesterday we were going at Neon.
Yeah.
Some. We passed to the same place. It was like, and some chicks were standing up. A massage parlor.
Yeah, and you see, that's the thing. When you see it, like, it will be written massage parlor and what's this? Then from time to time, you see all these young ladies coming out there.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, what kind of massage parlor is this? Because from what I understood, or from what I know of a massage parlor, it's a more professional setting.
Yeah.
You know, the place is well done, and what's this? The people who work in there have uniforms. And the uniforms they wear, like from the ones that I've seen, you know, it's not like just skimpy stuff. No, they wear, like you've seen the attire that nurses wear, the tops and the trousers, like it's fully dressed. You know, they'll even have their gloves. Sometimes they even have like an apron, like a face mask. That's the image of what I know for the people who work in massage parlors. You know,
but the ones we see,
like you are seeing just these girls scantily dressed, like there's no uniform, ain't no nothing, no logo, like it's there. It's like, yeah, so like there have been, you know, there are quite a lot of them like around the city that have mushroomed.
Especially these ends Olympia age. There are a lot
of palaces in Olympia. Guys in Olympia.
Olympia,
let's not say guys in Olympia. Let's not say guys in Olympia.
Not mid in Olympia.
Because you see, the thing is, the people who patronize such places, actually, they come from far.
Yeah, true.
They run away from home, so they go do date somewhere.
For me, not my eyes, yeah. Maybe it's like maybe we should try and visit one massage parlor and get to have experience, you know. Maybe
what experience is that?
So we're all denying that we've never been to a massage parlor.
No,
it's not like I'm not, for me personally, I'm not just denying that for the sake of saving. No, I've never been there.
Yeah, I've never
even like a proper massage parlor. I've never had that experience. It's something I saw on TV. So that's how the massage parlor is. That's why when I saw that happening like in the hood there, I was like, okay, what kind is that? Like, you know, it's very different. Okay, yeah. So let me have, I found it. This is like on Nkani. Okay, so this is an article that says Kabwe authorities uncover suspected brothel posing as a massage parlor. A joint operation by Kabwe Municipal Council and the Zambia Police Service has led to the uncovering of suspected illicit activities at house number 4 Metcalf Street in High Ridge, Kabwe, where a property allegedly disguised as a massage parlor is believed to have been operating as a brothel. According to a statement issued by the Kabwe Municipal Council Public Relations Unit, the investigation was launched following reports and complaints from concerned local residents about suspicious conduct at the premises. So somebody snitched.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, 17th June 2025, the operation led by Central Province Police Commissioner Madam Charity Munganga and Director of Public Health, Mr. Christopher Mtonga, resulted in the discovery of used condoms discarded at around the premises, a clear indicator of suspected illegal sexual activity. Authorities detained 7 females aged between 14 and 26 years. Guys.
14.
Who were found on the property. They have been taken to Choa Police Station to assist with ongoing investigations. Preliminary findings suggest that the house was operating in violation of multiple laws, including Section 146 to 148 of the Penal Code Act, Chapter 87, which prohibits operation of brothels in Zambia. The case also falls under the Public Health Act, Chapter 295, and Local Government Act Number 2 of 2019, both of which require that all businesses be registered, licensed, and lawfully operated. The premises have since been shut down pending further investigation. It goes on a bit more, but yeah, I'll just end there. Yeah. So
14 years,
actually,
bro.
So Spice FM. Yeah.
Spice.
So that's that, man. Yeah. So this was in Kabwe where they found this brothel in one of these residential areas. It's a High Ridge there, Metcalf Street.
So now what number what's more
LSK.
In the LS,
in the
bro.
capital,
LSK.
where the life is,
it's
bruh.
boom banging.
Where the life is, bruh.
It's boom banging. It's boom banging.
wild,
Like
it's wild.
it's happening. You know, like these things are, they're there. You know, the unfortunate thing from that whole thing is the age of some of these people in there. It's one thing to commit these illegalities and crimes, but for you to run something like that and have 14 underage people in there, no.
14? No.
That
Age
is
is
not
just,
right.
there's nothing that you can start like anything sexual. I am a chip. So like that's
that's the
14
the
is
worrying
too
thing. Because I'm like, I don't think those are children, man. I don't think they took that. I think maybe to a certain extent, somebody must have coerced them into that.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, and if that is happening, that's very dangerous, you know. Then it becomes a more dangerous situation. It no longer just becomes one of those things where like, all these things are operating and something. It means children are also at risk of finding themselves in these harmful environments. So I think more needs to be done to actually go into these institutions, you know, clamp down on them with all these illegal things happening, make sure that the children and underage persons are protected. You know, their rights are not being violated by being used for such activities in such places. Yeah, like it's that's terrible. Like to have kids in such a situation, you know.
It's a bad situation. But you know, the funny thing is that you'd find that an old man, aged, I would say maybe 26, 30, busy on someone who is at 14.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. But I guess at the end of the day, for a girl who is 14 years old to find herself in such a situation, let's look at her background. Where is she coming from? Like, what's her house setup like? At some point, I would say it's because of poverty. You know, it's contributed to that. Go out in these places, in these compounds, then you get to see. Yeah. Like, okay, Mwakula, you should even leave my house. You know. Yeah.
That's tricky, man, because it leaves all these young people vulnerable.
Yeah, true.
And like, you know, young people are young. You know, they're gonna make dumb decisions and wrong decisions here and there. They need a lot of guidance, but they also just need to be protected in certain aspects so that they don't find themselves in certain places. You know, even just like clubs and what's this, and they need to do more to scrutinize the age of the people patronizing these places. Because there are some of these places, like, you know, this is a child. What is this person doing there? I remember, like, back in the day then, like, that was way before I even started clubbing. Like, I think there used to be this thing about producing your ID when you get to the door. You know, it was a big thing. Like, you have to produce an ID to show that you're of valid age to be in that place. You know, you don't just enter and once it's no, you have to. And I think more needs to be done like that. Because at the end of the day, you have this whole situation where you have all this bunch of young people going into environments.
The way you're saying it right now, I think they're not even that strict.
Yes.
Because, especially to ladies, they would be more strict to a guy who's like, yeah. But to ladies, it's like, as long as the body looks like it's in shape, just come in. We have people in these joints, the clubs and ABCD that just look at young girls. They're not there for like women that are in the same age range. They're just looking at small girls like black one.
Yeah.
Like, bro, why?
Yeah, that's some predator behavior.
Predator.
Yeah, because like look, you're trying to try to take advantage of this young person. Because they're young. They don't know any better. They're easy to manipulate.
Yeah.
Whereas a woman your age will challenge you. You're just not going to get anything up on her. You're going to have to do some work in order to be able to talk to her or whatever it is. But with a child, it's easy. Once you talk to somebody, 1, 2, 3 questions, you'll be able to tell this is a child. So even the whole thing, of course, like, and I think even with the food these days, not just girls, but even just the boys, like, people are growing faster and bigger than they used to back in the day. So somebody who's 14, what they will look like compared to a 14-year-old, like, maybe 10 years ago, it's very different.
This time around, the looks are deceiving.
So it's not enough for you to just look at somebody and think, oh yeah, this person. No. There are a lot of young people who might have mature bodies, but they're not of age. So more needs to be done. You can't just look at somebody and say, oh, wow, you're more good. No. Yeah. The mind hasn't developed yet. Yeah. It's not ready to experience certain things. That kind of thing, So there are those unfortunate issues in there. With Massage Parlours and what's this? Massage Parlours.
Massage Parlours. Some of them,
and guys also.
Some of them, even when you're moving, you see, they'll list the packages. Okay, this Thai massage, Shanshani. Then at the end, there was like, there's a gentleman package. Like, it's a gentleman package.
What is that?
What's that, bro?
Happy ending.
There's a gentleman package, 700 kwacha.
700.
So we all don't know what a gentleman package is, so I'm not going to conclude like maybe it's a proper package. Comes with a lot of services.
Gentleman's
we don't know.
Package is a guy coming to massage you.
What?
I know.
How did you even know that?
Like there's all kinds of.
Why am I like yo?
That's not my cup of tea, man. No.
Imagine paying that and you see this nigga, man. Hey,
bro, I'm running out of there.
Why, dude? Why? But why,
hey, bro?
Why?
It's the city, man.
But anyway, I'm sure even with that, like, because things are moving so fast these days. I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if there was something like that. Yeah, because things are just moving so fast. People like the phones, the internet. People are being exposed to all manner of stuff, so it's easy for them to pick up certain ideas and say, "I think this can work here," and just be out there. But guys as well, man, like, because guys really be patronizing these places. Yeah. Because also, let's not just look at those institutions themselves say they are mushrooming. It means there's also a demand for them.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are going to patronize these places. I wouldn't be surprised if it's married people.
Yeah. Of course. Do you think they sell alcohol there?
Probably, maybe as an additional thing. I'm guessing so.
So imagine if now, this thing now, how they brand it now, they start doing that, and then now, pansi veparina ka bar, ngawana trimbi kutoka kwa massage,
but then again, I don't. But then again, I don't think they would do that.
Yeah, licenses and stuff like that.
But they'll do it hidden, like obviously like it's somewhere. This is a bar or what?
That would be a bad idea, because the things that you do in your drunk state that you do in your normal state, it would be a very bad idea.
So time over that she did a massage. Often started book.
Okay, so just cut. The thing is, if they sold alcohol in those places again, right? I'm guessing if the guys who are going there, like, you know, people get rowdy when they get drunk.
Yeah.
And these places, I'm sure they're operating like in a more of a hidden and, you know, they're not trying to raise too much attention to themselves. Because what they're doing is illegal if they're operating as brothels. So they're not trying to bring too much attention to themselves. Especially where, you know, you get a lot of disturbances. Because these places, again, are in these residential areas.
Yeah.
You know how residential areas are. Because when this whole report came from people reporting, saying, oh, there's something fishy about this place. And I'm sure it's through some of those things that they saw or maybe heard from there. Now, if you put alcohol in there, then now people get drunk and you get all these situations. Now it just becomes like, what's this? You're getting shut down real quick. So I think they try to operate it on a low basis. Yeah, then even maybe the clientele on a, you know, it's not open to all.
That's what I wanted to say. Like maybe their audience is not for everyone.
Yeah, maybe it's by invite or something like that, because it is illegal at the end of the day.
Or maybe you have to book. You book better than online.
You come on recommendation.
Someone recommended.
Which day?
To which day?
Yeah,
man. So those are the massage parlor issues, man. Stay away from those massage parlors. You want a massage? Go to a proper massage spa. They are there in Lusaka where they wear proper uniforms. It's properly trained people who know what they're doing. It's not just a happy time and all that nonsense. If you can't afford that, if you are married, go to your madam or your significant other. You know, just to stay away from that, man. You find yourself in some nonsense.
Just to ask a question. Like, so if you were married, would you allow your wife going at
I know where this is going now.
Going to a massage parlor and being massaged by a gentleman?
No. I think women should be attended to by women in a massage parlor.
What of the other?
For gentlemen, get a man also.
I know.
Yeah, okay. Because what are you going there for? What are you massaging? That you need a woman to do it for you. That man do.
Because me, as in for me, I think I wouldn't be alright being massaged by a dude. Why?
Now, if you can't even, you know, like I don't think that can happen.
Well, it does sometimes.
But that raises a question to the audience. Like, can you allow? Is it your madam, your girlfriend being massaged by a dude? And you yourself?
No. Yeah, and you know, like that situation that there was actually a case in B. I think it was last year or sometime back, like here in Zambia, like one of these hotels or something, where a lady took one of these same what do you call these guys who massage?
Massage therapist?
Yeah, so is it a masseuse? Masseuse. They took them to court on allegations of sexual assault. Okay. It's like I don't know what exactly happened during this whole massage session, but the lady claims that she was violated. She allegedly said that the guy violated her during that thing. So, you know, there are situations like that pop off, and just to avoid that manner of you know, kind of scenarios, let women just be massaged by women, please. We don't need any of that confusion.
I want a gentleman to massage. So I don't know.
But you know,
for me, that's a no. If you want, I think go find somebody else.
Massage para if you for to time that TV. So you want to make an gonna tower up.
Yeah.
Tower mono is the massage.
Yeah.
As the guy was a guy.
But it's not.
But then you find out.
But so, here's my thing. Here's my thing, it's like, it seems the reason for going for the massage is a little more than what a massage is meant for.
No.
Massage, from my understanding, it's meant to relax your body, ease tension. It is not a thing to get you around.
No, but the same idea.
That's the whole thing.
So why are you going to be upset when you find this a dude? You are not doing anything sexual.
It might not be sexual, but please.
And even if you found it's a dude and you got aroused during the thing, that's more something to do with you.
Yeah.
And that's you now.
That's you, bro.
Hey.
You know?
Like, check this out.
Some of these things, man, like...
that's a performance.
No. As in a dude? No. Must be a lady, bro.
No. Anyway, no, those are preferences. I'm not saying I want to be massaged by dudes. Just for your own peace of mind. Nah, you're not putting your hands on me, dog. Like, I think I would be too, tense. Like, even the massage would lose its purpose. Just thinking, nah, get your hands off for me. But for those who can stomach it and do it, hey, that's on you. So long as you're not getting what says, hey, that's that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think if you're going there for other intentions, that's tricky now.
No,
but the reason why I'm saying that, because of these same cases where people end up getting assaulted and that's the only reason I'm saying women should be massaged by women, men should also assist. Because sometimes men will behave badly. Just dudes will be wilding out there, bro. Like, yes, it's a massage therapist, right? And it's a massage, dude. It's nothing more than that. But if you hear some of the accounts of these women and what some of these dudes do in there, it's like, dudes be wilding, man. Like, just, undress and like, you have to, no.
I'm one of it. He's some boy.
That's wrong, bro. That's wrong.
Some boy, somebody, so that's the boys. You guys are the boys.
We have
you went there for one thing. What you went for, you get relief. If you want the other thing, go look for it somewhere else. There are places you can go to go get your relief in that, man. But there are people who are willing to do that for you. But now when you go to an institution that's not meant for that, and then you start behaving like that, that's how you catch a case, though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You catch a case for real. Because then people will be pushed now.
Yeah. And it's just wrong. Like, I think guys sometimes we don't understand these things because of our perspective. We're thinking of it like woman to woman. Like, I think the way guys understand it is unless another man is doing that. Picture a dude just flashes you his item. Like, what? Like, why would you even do that, bro? Like, like, bro, that's reason to get decked, bro. You get it. Like, why do you feel you need to show me that indecency? But because it's women, dudes think, it's warranted. Like, no, it's not. It's wrong, and those things shouldn't be done.
Yeah.
If you feel so burnt up and hot, go where you gotta get it, man.
So the best
it's
thing,
simple, bro. Even like if you want to use like you want to throw a deuce, bro. You don't go throw a deuce in the kitchen. There's the toilet. Do your deuce in the toilet, eat in the kitchen. Simple, keep it straight, man. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So that's that, gents. Otherwise, it's been a good chat.
Of course, bro.
Always
good. Always good.
We've come to the end of our segment, our episode this week. Stay blessed. Look after yourself. Stay away from those massage parlors. Go to professional ones. Don't misbehave. Don't do witchcraft if you're an artist. Guys, you tell us, we'll be able to see when you reach that point. And even though we're recording this today on the 18th, it's past Father's Day. But happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We know it's past, but this one's for you, for all of you who didn't get your happy Father's Day. For that stepdad whose stepkids went and bought their biological dad and ignored him. Sad. Happy Father's Day, man. Stay happy, stay blessed. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Peace.